Good morning. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. We are currently driving and we are on our way. Oh, hold on, we're taking the exit. Yesterday we ditched Ernie. All right, we'll see you in Utah, Ernie. Guys. We sent him across the country in a U-Haul truck. And I've got me and the boss here today. And we're going to meet Brent and RJ from WD Detailing. We're flying out here to buy a car. We're gonna take you and show you what it looks like. And we might just be able to go and do some stuff with them, and who knows. All right, so we made it to WD Detailing. I mean, obviously I've seen some pictures, but to see it in real life is gonna be awesome. So let's go check it out, see what you guys think. RJ and Brent from WD Detailing, right here. Make sure you go check out their YouTube channel. These guys are doing awesome content, and that's how I found this. 57 Chevy Bel Air 2-door sport coupe in dang good shape, especially for what it is. So these guys took this, they got it out of a barn, sat there for how many years?
Since 1993.
So it sat from 1993. Holy crap. It's like almost as long as I've been alive.
The whole garage fell on top of it.
1, 2, 3, go.
So anyway, you guys pulled it out of the barn. The roof had caved in. It almost took your buddy Matt out when there was a beam. I saw it came down, and anyway, it was pretty crazy. Got it back to the shop. They washed it. They brought out Jason Kilmer, and you guys remember Jason? He was there on the 97 Chevy for Aiden. He helped us polish that. Well, he came out and helped these guys get this all polished up, looking good for us. So that's actually how we made the connection. Jason told me about it, introduced me to these guys, and we made a deal. So now we've flown out to Cleveland, Ohio. We're here to buy this car. We're gonna check it out for the first time and kind of get a game plan on what we're gonna do, because this car has to drive on its own power all the way back to Utah. Not today, but at some point.
At some point, yeah.
So yeah, this thing is sweet. You guys have already done a ton of work. You had to break into it.
Yeah, we had to pound out. We had to cut out the locks. As you see, we didn't do the cleanest job. So we popped those out, and then we had to pound a hammer and a big screwdriver into, where is it actually? The start.
Latch?
Yeah, in order to actually get the star to turn. And once we got one door, we realized we have to go and do it to the other door. So it was probably, what, 7 hours for both doors just to get in.
Cow.
And then obviously the interior wasn't much a detailer could do. This is definitely more of a restorative process. Yeah, cleaned up as best we could for a good restore. I figure you'd probably take it right back and get it right in the sandblasting.
Oh yeah, it's gonna definitely need a full job done to it. So anyway, but the nice thing is all the trims here, all the glass sitting on its own wheels and tires. We'll definitely be changing those. It's got a little bit of a floppy fender. Nothing too bad, nothing that we can't take care of. The nice thing is it's got all the front end.
I gotta show you something in the engine.
All right, well, let's take a look.
Check this out. You have a homemade filter
Screen.
for...
Is that like house screen? Oh, it is. That's like somebody took their screen door off of their house and put it in front of the radiator. That is vintage. We might have to restring that, put it back in for some protection. Overall, it's pretty complete. Surprised at how much is actually here.
Truly, I think the best part is actually the frame underneath and the underneath in general. Pretty clean.
Really?
Floor pans, we thought they were going to be okay, but likely you'll have
Yeah, well, most things from 1957, unless they're like in a climate-controlled environment, they're gonna have some rust in them. That's just the nature of it.
So what do you think your overall goal is with this thing? Do you have a plan yet?
So our goal in Ohio is to get it to run and drive, and then we'll take it back to Utah, and I'm not sure. Maybe we'll leave it up to the viewers. We'll either do it full on in depth, or maybe we'll get it to look really good, and maybe just sell it. I don't know.
Rat rod it.
Yeah, rat rod it, do a cool, maybe a patina paint job, maybe a full-on custom paint job, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments if we should do a full restoration, if we should do basically a ratty style rebuild. It's like a sleeper. Maybe it has some awesome engine in it, runs and drives super awesome, the interior's great, and then you just don't know it. So we can pull up on some WRXs, smoke them. Looks like it's had a paint job at one point in its life. It's got some Bondo on there, but they sell everything for these cars.
Still have an inspection sticker from 1979.
What is that?
Might be out of date.
Well, at least we know that it was once inspected. That's a plus. We got a Flintstone style floor.
Yeah, but I don't know what was going on with the seats. We had to cut out some of the bolts came out, some were welded. It was interesting to say the least. So
hey, the back of the back seat looks nice.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know what these seats came out of, but they're nice buckets.
Yeah, looks like it's got a nice hearse shifter on it, so this must be a 4-speed car. Cool. Well, we came this far, we might as well buy it.
You want it?
Sure hope so.
Well,
He's leave.
yeah, I guess there's no turning back.
We've done all we can do.
So,
I think we can make a deal.
yeah. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll get it bought up, and then we're gonna load it on a trailer because they said that they've got another car somewhere else that we gotta go look at. So we're gonna be heading over to some barn across town, checking out this other car, and then we'll figure out where we're taking this one. All right.
Thank you, sir. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Perfect. For all of you thinking this is a 210, what does that say right there? All right, so all I was told is that I need to follow them and we're going to some barn with a car in it. So I'm pretty excited to go see what it is. They're gonna make a video on detailing this thing and we're gonna help them get it out and get it over to their shop and hopefully help them wash it all up. You know, I didn't realize I was flying out to Ohio to work, but hey, when in Rome. All right, so we made it. This car has been locked behind this door since the 80s. So we're gonna have to cut the lock to get in. So me and RJ are gonna
Anticlimactic.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go.
All right, so here in Cleveland, we just stumbled on a 1975 Corvette. It's a Stingray. So WD Detailing had a lead. They found it. They're gonna take it out of this barn that it's been in since 1988, and they're gonna take it back and get it washed. We're just here for moral support, but this thing is sweet. It's super dirty, but we've got a tow truck coming. They're gonna get it out of the barn, and then we'll get it back to their shop and do their magic. So another cool thing is it hasn't started since then. So they have a couple of keys from the owner. She doesn't even know if it's the right keys, but if it is, we're gonna try to get this thing to run after it's clean. Right back. What do you think?
We got our work cut out for us. This is a rough one.
All right, so we've been talking with the owner, and she is considering selling this car. So if you guys want to see us buy a 1975 Stingray Corvette, let us know in the comments. We might have to come back out to Cleveland and buy it. Anyway, it's a pretty cool car. It'd be fun to drive across the country. It's just a 2-seater. So that means I'd have to choose who my rider is. So we're moving this out of their shop because we've got to bring that Corvette in here. Get that in here. They're going to get it all cleaned up. I'm going to help them. But if you want to watch the detailing portion, you're going to have to head over to WD Detailing and check it out. Just like they did to this. Well, we're going to need a new window. Good thing it's laminated. Actually, Hillbilly will be sitting here on the drive home. So, look at that. That's some old school bodywork right there. We need some new BFGs.
Oh, it was the right key. All right, I think this one actually will hold air. Probably just gonna have to fill this up and, or keep it filled as we hit the button.
He's gonna keep air going in it. I'm gonna turn the wheel. Everybody else is here for moral support. We'll get it on the trailer. We make bad life choices, okay? We just gotta deal with it now. It's wanting to rip the wheel that way. So, holding it. All right, so today was a successful day. We got the 57 Chevy all the way down by Worcester, Ohio. My buddy Damon has a friend let us put it on his farm until we can get back out here and get that thing running and driving to drive across the country. So we're back tomorrow at WDDetailings. So it is tomorrow. All right, it is the next day. We are headed back to the detail shop. We're gonna go see what these guys have done to the Corvette. And we're also gonna see if we can get it to start. Can't guarantee it'll start, but we're gonna try. This is way different than it was yesterday. How much stuff did you guys actually have to get out of this engine compartment to even see the engine?
A lot.
I can't believe it. So this has got an old Quadrijet on it. So I just looked, it's not frozen up. I'm thinking the chances of this firing is probably pretty good. The only problem is we don't have a key. We should probably head down to like AutoZone or Napa, get a new lock cylinder, and then we'll just change it out in the column and see if we can get this thing to fire up today. All right, so first things first, we're gonna check the coolant in this car because this thing has sat since 1988. I don't even think it's gonna have any coolant in it. We'll go over and check the oil, make sure it's got oil, and then we'll get in the car and we'll start taking the column apart. I can't see coolant now. So surprisingly, there's coolant. It's down to about right here, and it's green. So either somebody's been in this before, like maybe in the last 30 years, or it just held the coolant. I'm surprised. We don't want to screw anything up too bad. So we'll go check the oil. In theory, it should still have oil, but it's black, as black can be. It definitely needs an oil change, but it's got oil. It's just right on the add line. So it's about right, well, it's a little bit above the add 1 quart. So what we'll do is we'll get inside, we'll start working on the column, and before we start it, we'll add an extra quart. Maybe get it a little bit over full. Just get some oil starting to seep down inside the cylinders on all the valve trains so that we don't screw anything up. But this is the transmission. We'll check that fluid. Well, it's definitely got fluid in it. Doesn't smell burnt, so that's probably a good sign. We'll get inside. We're gonna start ripping the steering wheel off and getting the cylinder, the lock cylinder changed in this column. That way we can put a battery in it and see if this thing will fire. So we got some starting fluid. We'll just put it right in the carburetor and hopefully get this thing to fire up. The lock cylinder is down inside the column. So in order to get to that, we have to take the telescoping column apart. See that? That's nice. We'll get this all taken apart, and then we're gonna get all the way down into the guts and get this key lock cylinder out, get a new one in it to where we can actually try to start this thing. That was easy. Okay, old one's out. New one should just go right back in. Look at that. Vroom, vroom. All right, so we got the telescoping column all back together. Got the ignition in it. So we're gonna go and make sure it's got oil and see if this thing will turn over and possibly fire. All right, we're gonna put a full quart of oil in. I'm gonna do half a quart on this side, and then I'm gonna try to go through the breather on that side. Put another half a quart just to get some lubrication going. All right, now that we've got oil in it, we're gonna crank it over and just try to basically get the juices flowing. Make sure that there's oil on everything because we don't even want to attempt to start this if the lifters are dry or if anything doesn't have oil on it. Where it's sat for 30 years, actually 34 years, it's gonna be dry. It's got a heck of a clank. That is the starter clanking hard. All right, we've cranked it over. We've got the oil saturating all the rings and pistons and everything. We're gonna use some starting fluid. Just try to get this thing a little bit of life into it. RJ said 10 out of 10 won't start. What do you guys think? Is this gonna start? Drop your comment right now. Before we even try it. I think it's gonna start. What do you think?
I think it will too.
Okay, that's 3 against 1. RJ, let's get this thing to start. Okay, hit it. Ready?
Dude, good
I'm
job.
gonna say it starts.
Let's go.
All right, 10 out of 10, it started. All right, so we finally got it to start, but it's that time, we gotta head out. So we're gonna go take a look at the 57 again and see what all we're gonna need for that. Literally, it needs like everything.
Everything.
It needs everything.
It gets everything or not?
Everything, everything. So we got back here and pretty much we need everything for this car. So I'm not even gonna make a list. I'm just gonna plan on getting everything for drivability that we need. Had we looked at this car before we flew to Ohio, we may not have bought it. It is definitely a lot more rusty than I like. And I don't think this thing's a necessary candidate for a full restoration. It is a candidate for a super cool resto mod. So we reached out to a friend that I know at Summit Racing. So we're headed to go have a meeting with their head guy to see if we can swing a deal to take the 57 Chevy to their shop and get it all to run and drive so we can drive it back to Utah. We're gonna go meet up with our friend Justin Weideman. He's gonna show us around the facility, and then we're gonna sit down with his boss and see if we can't make a deal. So we just left our meeting. Holy cow, I cannot wait to share with you guys what's to come. But we gotta get on the road because we have a plane to catch to get back to Utah. We just left Summit Racing. They have been in Ohio for 55 years, and they literally have 250,000 square feet of warehouse. They sell like 18,000 brands. So if you guys ever need any parts for anything, hit up summitracing.com and head over and buy you guys some parts. This isn't gonna be the last time you see us with Summit Racing, because we just struck a deal with them, and we're gonna be taking the 57 Chevy there and getting it to run and drive. And then we're driving it all the way back to Ephraim, Utah. That's gonna be coming up after Easter Jeep Safari. We're gonna be headed back out here to Ohio. So stay tuned for that. And as always, we appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.